What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Transformation TV, where we transform lives through purposeful conversations, regardless of how uncomfortable and unpopular those conversations are. My name is Clif John. I'm a purpose strategist, author, transformation coach, spiritual leader. I provide tools and strategies to transition you from a life of merely existing to living a life full of abundance and what? Purpose. Because where your purpose is, there is abundance. There is abundance. There is abundance. And you have the ability to experience abundance in every core area of your life. To find out about those core areas, you can visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. All right. So here's what's up. Today at 11 a.m., I was scheduled to be a spotlight speaker on the Black Speakers Network Speaker Spotlight. Okay. Speaker Spotlight. Everything was great. Everything was all set up. It was beautiful. It was lovely. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Y'all listen, if you don't know about the Black Speakers Network, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing with your life? Now I'm playing. Make sure you check us out though. We're on Facebook, as well as you can visit www.blackspeakersnetwork.com. All right. Go there, guys. It's a great community. It's great resources. It's great opportunities. It's just greatness there. It's just a community of individuals that have all been assigned different superpowers, and we come together collectively, learn from each other, grow from each other, and we help push and motivate each other. So if you're looking for a community, I want you to check that out. Okay. But today I was supposed to be, a part of the Speakers Spotlight series. And I was going to talk about the subject of what now, where we have to address life's most difficult moments, as we say on the podcast. But, we just talked about, we understand that difficult moments are actually defining moments. And we have the power, the authority, the ability, and the right to define those very moments, right? That's what we talk about on the podcast. So that's what I was going to share today. And I was going to, relate it to, and I'm not going to get into what I was going to do because I'm going to do that right now. Okay. Because I realized if I'm going to be a message of transformation, if I'm going to be a message of purpose and vision and a message of the ability to see past the present, then I have to begin to move in those dimensions, regardless of what's going on right now. And guys, you can tell there's been a while since I've been behind the camera because I keep forgetting where to look for the camera. All right. But nevertheless, here we go. So that's what I was going to talk about on today. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. I've already introduced myself. Those of you already know me. I appreciate each and every one of you. If this is your first time hearing a video from me, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take time to go back and listen to other videos we have. Let me check my elbows. I forgot to see if they're ashy. If they're ashy, please excuse me. But go back, listen, guys, become part of the conversation. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know how you can become even greater involved. Let's do this thing together. We're all called to be great. We're all called to redefine and represent great. So why not, or greatness? So why not do it together? Because we are stronger together. And in the time of what we're going through right now, you excuse me, guys, these lights are bright and it's messing with my cornea on this side. But what we're facing in the world today, we need to come together and unite. Was it the beginning of the year? No, last year, the end of last year, I talked about how this was going to be the year of the creatives, where God was going to take creatives and put them on the forefront. He was going to use those gifts, talents, and abilities to bring glory, honor, and praise to him and to help position us in a place where people can see the other sides of greatness. Because sometimes we don't always see the full effect of creativity. And I want to say something about creativity because there was a struggle with me with my own personal creativity as well. I don't sing. I barely dance. However, I'm not a choreographer. I cannot draw. I'm not great at poetry. So those are kind of the things that we look at as those who are creatives. But there's another whole side and dimension of creatives that we have yet to tap into. And this is a great opportunity for us to tap into it. Why? Because it seems as if everything is at a standstill. But even though it seems like the world is at a standstill, you do not need to stand still. You do not need to stand still. You might say, well, Cliff, I can't move freely like I want to move. Good. Because now the movement must begin internally. Some of us had to experience this because we spend so much time helping others, doing for others, being there for others. That's part of our mission. That's part of our purpose. However, we have neglected one of the greatest component of our purpose, and that is us. That's our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our financial health, and some other healths. All of our healths we've neglected. I had a brain freeze again there, but nevertheless, we've neglected those areas of our lives. So what has happened is it seems as if we have been put on pause. And it's not that we've been put on pause. It's just now time for us to build within so that when we're introduced to this new norm, because the reality is everybody keeps talking about, I can't wait until life is normal again. Well, if we're not focused on building ourselves up and focusing on building the gifts, talents, and abilities and building, our character and our emotional intelligence and everything that's wrapped around that, we're going to miss the new norm because we're going to be looking for that which once was. What now? And see, the reason why I like to talk about what now is because some of us get so caught up in the past, and then there's others of us that get so caught up in the future that we neglect the now. And we don't understand that what has happened in the past helps us focus on our now, helps build our now so we can produce a future that's conducive to our purpose. So what are you doing with your now right now? What are you doing with your now? How have you defined those moments in your life? Do you look at those as challenges for you to be able to grow and develop and to become more creative? Or do you look at them as a punishment? And see, I was just faced with this, not even, what time is it now? Not even 36 minutes ago. I was faced with this when I hit go live and it wouldn't allow me to go live because of the Wi-Fi connection. I was faced with a challenge because I was so excited about bringing this message or bringing this talk to the Black Speakers Network that I hadn't even thought, well, what happens if you're not able to do it? That hadn't even crossed my mind. I hadn't even thought about that. And it's crazy because when I did think of it, when it happened to me, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh man, you must not be good enough. You must not be ready. You must not know what you're talking about. All these, you must not. No, how about stepping back and realizing that maybe it just wasn't the moment for it right then. Maybe it was the moment for me to sit down behind this computer and record this video for you. And now, granted, I didn't come to that right off the top of the head, top of the head or top of the bed or top of my head. It didn't come to me like that because I was frustrated. I was angry. I was mad. I was all of those things. And I had to gather myself and say the same principles you were trying to spit to these people on this video, you need to apply those very same principles to your life. So listen, a few years back, I went through a divorce. Okay. And, that was a major life situation for me. And when you go through a divorce, we all go through different things differently. But the reality is that now you don't function or move as a unit anymore. And one of the things I realized was I really didn't know how to move on my own. There was times I didn't know how to just worry more or less about myself and focus on building myself back up. So this kind of caused me to do that. So when I was faced with that time, the title, What Now, came to me. The concept of what now came to me. I did not know what I was going to do with it. I figured it would be a book. because I write books. Okay. I figured it'd be a book, but I did not understand it was going to develop into a podcast and eventually develop into, me sharing with so many people, about the power of the noun, the power of what we are doing with our noun. So what I want to share with each and every one of you is, is the acronym that I came up with. What now? Now I'm going to give you a dual acronym because I'm going to share with you how I handle some situations negatively or not so positively, and then how I grew and learned to face those things positively, and I begin to see positive results from it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on today. So let's get started. All right, let me scroll down. I don't want to forget anything, and I want to make sure I give you guys the best of me. Okay, so here we go, guys. How do you adapt to change? Be honest about it now. How do you adapt to change? I used to think I was a person that could go with the flow and go with, the vibrations of everything. And if it changed, okay, no problem. It changes. But I learned, okay, here's another story. After my divorce, I was involved in this situationship. Yeah, that's what I said, situationship. We've all been in them. We just haven't defined them as that. All right, let me give me a drink real quick. One of the things that this situationship taught me from talking to the individual about a situation was that I had an inability to let go and adapt very well to change. And I did not see it for myself. I saw it for them at first. But as time went on, I realized, oh my God, it was a mirror of me looking at myself and how I face certain situations. So I realized I did not adapt to change very well. I am a planner. I like to plan things out. I like for things to go the way that they were planned. And when they don't go the way that they were planned, I do not like it. And that showed about over a half an hour ago. Okay, guys. And I'm getting better at it. I'm really, working and getting a lot better at it. So I want to ask you, how do you handle change? Some of you may adapt very well to change. Like I said, I thought I did, until the divorce. The divorce taught me, and then the situationship taught me, and then over half an hour ago taught me that, you still haven't, mastered that area. And that's okay. We don't have to master everything. This is a journey. It is a process. We're not going to master it the first time. But if we continue at it, we will begin to master some of the things that once mastered us. All right. So now with this what do I always say? Have you ever found yourself pronouncing a word wrong that you know the correct pronunciation or enunciation of that word? The word is pandemic. Why do I always want to say pandemic? I don't know. Anyway, so with this pandemic going on, we're all at a place that we have to handle change. Our schedules have been changed. Some of us, our finances have been changed. Some of you are stuck at home with your children, and now you're starting to have a little more empathy for the teachers. You were upset with their teacher. You didn't understand how the teacher could manage the classroom. And now you have one student out of their 36 student classroom, and you're ready to reward that teacher of the year because you understand their pain. So much stuff has changed. Nothing is the same. We can't go out to eat at restaurants. We can't go watch our sports. And that's probably one of the changes that has really affected me is the no sports. I don't like that there are no sports. All right. So we've all faced these changes, and we've all have our various challenges with these changes that we are facing. So I developed a dual acronym, all right, that helps me process change. Like sometimes I have to step back and look at it to remember it. And some of the words I just started filling in because sometimes some of the steps I just didn't have words for because I still was fighting that part of the process. So here we go. Let's start. I have two essential questions for you. I want you to think about these questions now, and then I want you to readdress those questions afterwards. Okay. How do I view and face what now moments in my life? And again, we said that what now moments are defining moments, or moments that we have classified as difficult moments that make us want to run, make us want to hide, make us want to fight, make us want to cry, make us just want to retreat, whatever it is that it makes you want to do, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is. It makes you want to shop. It makes you want to eat. It makes you want to, and I'm telling you, I'm an emotional eater. Sometimes you can see I put on some weight here, extra large shirts now, but nevertheless, it makes you do various things. How do you handle those what now moments? And then number 2, what adjustments, if any, will you make after listening to me give you this acronym after this presentation? And you might say, you ain't giving me nothing. Okay, that's fine. I get it. I understand. I am a conversationalist, which means that my conversations are dimensional, which means that some of you will get it right off the bat. You'll say, this connects with my spirit. I'm excited. It's giving me the inspiration that I need to connect with my own motivation, and I'm ready. Some of you will say, what is he talking about? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't apply to my life. Then 10 days later, you'll be laying in the bed, and it'll ring back in your spirit, and it'll begin to cultivate some things in your life, and you'll begin to understand, oh, Clif wasn't just rambling on. He was making sense with what he said. That's the part of being a conversationalist that I understand. The Bible says it very clearly. One plant seed, one water, so that God add the increase. Some of you, I'm planting seed. Some of you, I'm watering the seed that was planted. Some of you, I'm speaking to that thing that you have let die, that you have let not die, but be in a coma. It's in a coma right now. It's been pronounced dead. The funeral has happened. Everybody thinks it's over, but it was just in a coma, and I'm speaking to it to wake it back up. All right? I'm going to wake it back up in your life. All right. You're going to begin to dream again. You're going to begin to have vision again. You're going to begin to see life again, beyond the present moment, beyond 5 years. You're going to begin to see that there is hope, that there is future inside of you. All right. So let's go. Here is my acronym for adapting to change. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you 2 acronyms for each letter, okay? 2 words, sometimes maybe 3 words for each letter. We're going to start with the letter N. We're bringing up the word now, because we're focusing on our now. So usually when something heavy hits us, and it hits us from the left, it hits us from the right, the top, the bottom, the front, the back, it just hits us all around. The first thing we want to do is say, no. This is not how it's going to be. No, 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 no. I don't care what you say. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. No, I'm not changing this. I'm not adapting to this. I'm not. I refuse to adjust to the movement and the vibrations that are going on. I'm going to do this my way. That's for those of us that are stubborn and have learned how to utilize our stubbornness sometimes to hold us back from the great things that are before us. That's always my first response many times. Then we become numb. Now, here's the thing about numbness. Some people feel numbness is great because you don't feel any pain. But the reality is that pain represents life. I know we don't like to hear that sometimes. But pain represents life. Why? Because pain shows that there are nerves there. It shows that there are emotions there. And some of us, nobody's seeing my emotions. I am the emotionless zombie. But on the inside, you are tore all the way up. And some of that comes from somebody, don't let the devil see you cry. Don't let the devil see you cry. Don't let nobody see you cry. Don't let nobody see you weak. And the reality is, you're worrying about other people instead of worrying about your emotional health. And some of us don't even know how to effectively communicate our feelings, connect with our emotions, because we have been taught to suppress and to hide them. And granted, guys, listen, our mamas, our daddies, our grandparents, our mentors, they meant well. They meant well. They tried to tell us well. But some of the things that they've told us, and until you learn how to distinguish between the two, are connected to the pains and the experiences that they had. And they don't want you to experience those pains. But what if those pains are the pains that you need for your purpose? numb. We think we become numb. So now I don't feel it. So surely I'm over the situation and I just don't care. You don't understand. I don't care. I don't care. But the reality is we do care, but we've just, you know how we do sometimes. You're not going to know I care. No, you're not going to know. But we do such a over expression of showing that we don't care that many times we don't even realize we show how much we do care. Now, let's flip it. Let's flip it. Okay. Now, those two words were my first reaction to a lot of the defining moments in my lives. And they were not good. It took me going to therapy. It took prayer. It took deliverance. It took healing for me to understand that no, it's not good for me to be stubborn all the time. No, it's not good for me to be numb all the time. I must progress beyond that. I must mature. I must grow up. So I begin to look at, here's the two N words. I begin to see it for what it was. It was something new, newness. It was new life. It was new opportunities. And I want us to grab hold of that word opportunities, because sometimes we've locked ourselves out of opportunities because we've saw opportunities as the enemy. Cause I still wanted the old way. I remember when. Some of you still locked in relationships as well. Cause man, I remember when nobody treated me like them. Of course nobody did, because you forgot the dysfunction that was going along with that former relationship. And now you got somebody that's trying to get you to function, and you can't function because you're used to functioning in dysfunction. And I'm not attacking nobody. I'm talking to myself as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you're going to be offended by some of the stuff I say. That's the reality of it. Because many times before we grab hold of something that's said, we're offended by it. And the reality is some of us have learned to function so much in dysfunction that when something is functional, we identify it as dysfunctional because we can't function in it. We don't desire to function in it. It's boring. It's not what I'm used to, and I don't know about that. Why do we always not know about the things that we should know about and always seem to not know about the things that we should know? You know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying. I'm trying to move fast, so I'm not too long. So embracing that newness, allowing yourself to understand that new is awesome. New is great. New is not a punishment. You are not being punished because God is mad with you. What God is trying to get you to understand is that there is something greater inside of you that you have yet to tap into. There's something that He desires to give you that's greater than your scope right now. Because see, sometimes they want to talk about vision, but sometimes we like to make decisions off of our sight. And I don't know about you, but my sight is limited. They've done great things with surgery. They've done great things with glasses, with contacts. But there is a reality, regardless of my glasses, regardless of my contacts, regardless of all them surgeries I had, my sight is still limited. I don't care if you have 20/20 vision. That's why I kind of was like hesitant when everybody was saying, God said it's 20/20 vision. That's nothing supernatural. That's natural. That is natural. But we have the ability to have vision that sees far beyond what we have the ability to see based upon our circumstances or our prescription. All right. So let's keep going now. That's the newness. It's new for you. I know some of you are so mad for being stuck in a home, but what about the person that doesn't have a home? I remember when this first started happening, I had went to get a new, passport because I lost my passport. Nevertheless, went to get a new passport at the library, and I was telling the man I was going to come back tomorrow, and he said, well, no, you won't. You'll be coming back at the end of April. I said, what do you mean? And this was, I think, was February. Was it February? Yeah, I think it was the end of February, beginning of March, somewhere around there. He said, you didn't know? We just closed down until, I think it was the end of April or something. The day it closed down, and my heart immediately went not to the fact that the library is closed. I can't rent the room that I usually rent for purpose empowerment sessions. I didn't think about any of that. I thought about the homeless people that hang out at the library every day. That's where they go every day to hang out. And now they don't have that. That was my first thought. And some of us are so mad and angry about being stuck in a home. And there's people that wish they had a home to be stuck in. It's just another look at it sometimes that we have to realize and be grateful for where we're at. And some of us are grateful, just used to moving. With me, this doesn't bother me. I told people I've been a social distancer for my entire life. So I feel like this is my time to shine. This is my moment. This is the greatest moment of my life because I feel like I should be doing webinars and teachings on how to properly social distance yourself. I don't know, but let's keep going. The next N word is navigate. See, now once you embrace the newness, now you begin to navigate differently as well. You begin to understand that the destination does not change, but your path may change. It may be time for you to blaze a new trail. You may have been used to traveling this same trail over and over and over and over again. You may have circled this same mountain of, oh no, over and over and over again. And now it's time for you to turn and go northward and blaze some new trails. That's what it is. You begin to navigate differently. You navigate differently in your heart. You navigate differently in your mind, in your spirit, with your feet, with your hands, with your eyes, with your ears, everything. You begin to navigate differently. All right. The next letter is O. Now, here's me when certain situations happen. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gone emotionally. I'm gone physically. I'm gone spiritually. I'm a runner. I've gotten a lot better than that over the years, but that's what I trained myself to do. That's what I trained myself. Get out of here. Get out of here. If it's too much pulling on my emotions, if it's too much pulling on me spiritually, if it's too much pulling on me financially, if it's too much pulling on me, run, don't look back. And my Apostle Roach voice, if I could sing it like him, I sing it, but I can't. But run, don't look back. That became my mentality when things happen that I was not ready for. I did not desire to happen, that I felt was me being judged and me being punished. Do you hear the negativity of my mind? How I had to elevate my mind to understand I'm not under judgment. I'm not being punished. I'm being positioned for purpose. I'm being positioned for purpose. You hear me? I'm being positioned for purpose. Position for purpose. PFP. Positioned for purpose. That's what's going on with you. Then the other old word for me, that was opposition. I'm going to oppose it. Okay, I'm not going to run this time, but I'm going to keep fighting this very thing. I'm fighting the newness. I'm fighting new navigations. I'm still saying no. I'm numb to the reality of the change. And if I'm numb to it, I won't have to face it. If I pretend it's not here, it's not there. You know, it's kind of like when you got your bank account and you know your bank account is negative or about to be negative, but you don't check your balance because in your mind, if I don't check my balance, then I don't have to face the reality that it's negative. Now, some of you might not me. I would never do that. Some of us have done it. Hey, I've done it. Now I praise God that it's not negative. I thank him that it's not negative. But there was a time I lived off of them overdraft fees. Or not overdraft fees, the overdraft protection. That was a new salary that I gave myself. I gave myself an increase that I'd have to pay for at the end, but it felt good for that moment. All right. Now here, when I transitioned, the old word that I used to apply to my life was open. I became more open. I did not realize how closed-minded I was until after, my divorce. I realized that I went to therapy and my therapist was talking to me and I realized how narrow my viewpoints on life were. I realized that and this is why I say, if you can travel, once this travel ban is lifted, I encourage you to travel, go to other states, go to other countries. Y'all went to the Bahamas last year, supposed to be going out of the country again this year. Hopefully I still can go, we can get past all this stuff, but you have to experience new culture. And if you can't experience new cultures, Connect with people of other cultures. Find out what it is that their values are and what they grew up believing, and understand that everybody that does not believe like you is not the enemy. They are not the enemy. They just have different belief systems and different values. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to understand. You're going to understand that they actually believe in the stuff that they say. And you know, some of us, there were some things as I grew up, I realized I didn't believe. But I was told that, and because I told that, I learned how to say it, but I never was connected with it because I did not hold that as valuable in my own personal life. But that's a whole nother story. So I became more open, and another old word, optimistic. I want to ask you a question. I remember one day I asked my spouse, did they view me as optimistic or pessimistic? Now, I asked them at a time where I could receive from them, because I was like, you must. At first I was like, I'm not going to ask because you're just going to say. But then I was like, no, I really want to know. And they were like, do you really want to know? I was like, yeah. They said, you're pessimistic. And I hadn't even realized how I had allowed so much stuff that had happened to me to cause me to become pessimistic. This guy that used to believe that anything was possible now operated out of the negative. And some people say, well, you just being real, you just face. No, baby. If an opportunity is presented to me and the first thing I think, it ain't going to come through. Oh, they must want something from me. That's pain speaking. That's past experiences speaking. That's me speaking about my inability to make effective judgments about situations in my life. But y'all, we can all talk about that a little bit later. I want to move faster, okay? So let's get to W. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. And I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you'll tune in for another one. I enjoyed this. This is why I really wanted to do this. Now, this was only supposed to be 20 minutes. I can pack it into 20 minutes, but I'm sure we went over 20 minutes now. All right, here we go. Whining. W. The first thing we do, whine. And someone's, not me. I'm strong. I am strong. A lot of people view me as strong. And I do think that there are areas of my life that I have great strength in. There's areas I'm working on discipline in my life. However, there are areas I'm very strong in, but there are areas I will whine until I can't whine no more. And I'm going to whine till I can't no more. I might have wrote a song right there, but I whine. That's why it's important to have community around you that can tell, yo, you're doing that, community around you that can say, yo, you're doing that whining again, homie. You're whining again. For real, though. No, you're not realizing you're whining again. And I will whine and whine and whine. I don't have my way. I have what I call in my book, From Stagnation to Transformation. Check it out, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com/transformation. I talk about I call them Clif parties, not pity parties, because we have to learn to take responsibility for our own actions. So we have to put an identity to that pity party. I call them Clif parties. You might call them Brian or Michael or Jeff or Susan or Becky or whatever your name is. You might call them those type of parties in your life. But I mastered the art of whining. I mastered the art of whining instead of getting up and doing something. So I would whine. I would worry. I would wonder, well, what is going to happen now? What's next? What more can happen? My God, can't nothing else go wrong? Did all that. And wandering. Physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I talk about it from a spiritual, emotional, and even psychologically. Spiritually, emotionally, what was the other one I said? Spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychologically. We wander in different areas. We wander in our minds. We wander in our hearts. We wander in our spirits. We wander with our feet. Not wonder. We do wonder, but we start wandering. And anytime you start wandering, that pulls you off of your path for purpose. Now, Clif, all things work together for the good. They do. But if I start wandering, it's just like a GPS. The GPS sometimes is going to give you the greatest route to your destination. When we start wandering, we find ourselves taking alternative routes, and the GPS now has to recalibrate to get us where it needs to get us. So that's why I started being, when it's that negative side of things. But then I matured, And when I matured, here's what I ended up doing. I started walk it out, walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. I started walking. No more standing still. No more wandering. No more complaining. Now, now hear what I'm saying when I say no more. Sometimes it's a process. It's less and less. Don't think you're just going to do this thing overnight. Okay, baby? There's some areas it's going to be a process. But you start walking. And the more you start walking, you start building them calf muscles. The stronger them calf muscles get, them thighs start getting stronger. The stronger them thighs start getting, your entire body structure, spiritually as well, starts to change. As you can tell, I haven't done much walking because my body structure has changed for the negative. But you start walking that thing out and working and working and working and being productive and realizing, oh, this thing is working for me. It's not working against me. And now I have to start working for me and stop working against myself. And then you start winning again. You start winning again. And winning does not look the same for everybody. All right, don't look the same for everybody. My example of winning may differ from your definition of winning. And you got to start acknowledging the small victories, because sometimes we just want everything to be big and catastrophic. And I talk a lot about momentum as well. And if you learn anything about momentum, momentum will start small. But the more and more and more and more and more and more you do it, the more strength you gain, the more speed or velocity you gain, because velocity has speed and direction within it. And the more it gains and gains and gains, as MC Hammer said, gaining momentum. It's just like the snowball. You know, it starts at the top of the mountain, rolls down, it gets bigger, 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 it gets bigger. I get excited and I stumble over my words. It gets bigger. And by the time it gets down that mountain, it's huge. That's how life or purpose happens in your life. It starts small. And as you begin to walk that thing out and not walk against that thing, or not view that thing as the enemy anymore, you begin to understand that I have to sometimes learn to lose control. If I'm an Eminem fan, one of my favorite Eminem songs is Lose Yourself. And if you watch 8 Mile, you know, I love 8 Mile. I can do all the rap battles too. Everybody from put the hands up and follow me. No, okay, here we go. But if you watch that, you saw his process with purpose. Every time he went to a rap battle, he froze up until that last rap battle. Some of you are facing things in life and you feel like, I keep freezing up. I'm tired of freezing up. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Everything is against me. But look at everything that he went through that led him to that last rap battle. Everything he went through did not feel good, did not look good. It was not identified as something good, but it pushed him and positioned him to now no longer freeze up, but now let it flow. So I encourage you, embrace the now, embrace the now, embrace the now, and let it flow. Let it flow. And I promise you, you'll begin to see yourself positioned even greater for purpose. Listen, my name is Clifton Pettyjohn. I thank you for joining me on today. Thank you for listening to what I said. If anything was said that, you know, was a blessing to you, reach out to us. Let us know. Reach out and let us know at info@CliftonPettyjohn.com. If you would like to sign up or just want more information about the services that I provide, visit www.CliftonPettyjohn.com. Make sure you check out there too our radio show and our podcast. Check us out, guys. We're on the move, but I need you to subscribe even to the YouTube channel. Let's take this to the next level, all right? Listen, as I always say, create a great day, walk with purpose, and by all means, guys, execute your vision. Be blessed.